what makes it fun. And it's switching between meanings is what makes it fun. I don't think he prepared that. I don't think that if he had run that by with his speechwriters, they would have said, "Oh yeah, really?" No. He was talking. I actually made it simpler than it was. What he was saying is he wanted to get a mutt, but he said a mutt would be a long-haired dog, and he said one of my daughters has allergies. So it was a way of getting into the point that he couldn't get a long-haired, even though he would just as soon get out of the pound and get one. So it wasn't a prepared comment. And any speechwriter would have said, don't put that in, because it's dangerous. One of the things about humor, and I'm just repeating myself, is it can be taken in different ways. And a lot of times when two people are laughing at the same thing, they're not laughing for the same reason. They see different features of it. So it's a slippery phenomenon. It's got several meanings, and the ambiguity is part of the fun. If you want to really convey a message and you want it to be crystal clear, you don't want anybody to misinterpret it, especially if you're trying to summon people to action, to do something, don't use humor. Because humor is too dangerous and loose and polyvalent or ambiguous or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I agree with you completely. And then, of course, anything that Obama says, if you watch Fox News, can be, the things that the interpretations they come up with are just preposterous. So yeah. Yes?
Sort of along that same
Sure.
thought, do you have a theory about what makes something going too far as far as making a joke or like too soon? Do you have any sort of hypothesis about what causes that? Because I mean, with some news items, it's really obvious that there's nothing funny about it, like the elementary school shootings and things like that. It's just so obvious that there's nothing funny about it. But then, like going a little farther back when people talked about the Dick Cheney hunting incident,
Yeah.
like that seems horrifying to me. Like I would never have guessed that it would be a joking subject, but there are plenty of jokes about that.
Oh yeah.
I think it's interesting, like what would cause one thing to be okay and not another.
The basic tension to me, I've got a chapter in my book, Comic Relief, called Laughing at the Wrong Time, The Negative Ethics of Humor. The basic tension is between compassion, sympathy, feeling the pain of another person, and laughing about some screw-up or mistake. If I'm walking across this room and I accidentally slip and I fall in it, maybe I tip over some oranges. If I laugh first, then it's okay for everybody to laugh, right? If I were to tip over his oranges in his lap, and then I laugh, and then you laugh, and I got resentful, that would be utterly inappropriate, because I laugh first. If I fall and I don't laugh, but I look okay, suppose you say, "Are you okay?" and I say, "Yeah," then it's okay to laugh. If I get hurt, though, suppose I slip and I catch my eye in the end of the ear and I got a huge gash and it's dripping blood.
Like the Louisville basketball player.
Oh, the compound fracture in that leg? Oh.
Fractured leg.
So in any situation where somebody needs instant attention, either psychological or medical or whatever, humor is not appropriate. Now, your question, how soon is soon enough to laugh? Like about Dick Cheney shooting his friend in the face with a shotgun. I would just be picking a number out of the air. But it seems to me that you have to pay attention to the sensitivity of the people. It also it matters who you're talking to. If you're talking to Dick Cheney himself, I would be more sensitive, although I find that hard. But if I'm talking about Dick Cheney, it seems to me I can make jokes about it instantly because I'm not hurting his feelings. So the basic thing you don't want to do is you don't want to show a lack of compassion for a person that you should be showing compassion for. But if I'm joking about Cheney with Neil, then I'm not hurting Cheney's feelings. Now, a school shooting like the one in Newtown, Connecticut, I don't think there's anything.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything funny there.
Although there
Anyway,
is bad things, really, really bad things that we laugh at now, like Krista McCullough, the person in the.
Oh yeah, yeah,
We laugh about that.
yeah.
Which we didn't at the time.
She was the astronaut. Yeah, yeah.
My parents live in Texas, in the Branch Davidians, the compound
Yes.
burning
Oh,
in
yeah.
Waco. There were jokes circulating from Texas
Oh yeah.
within hours.
Oh, yeah.
after
Really?
that,
It's amazing.
Really?
which was interesting. And they were generating the jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that distancing mechanism was put into place.
Really
fast.
Yeah, and you can use it too distant. You can use it as a way of kind of numbing the pain so that you can go on with your work. This is how it's used in medicine all the time this way. People in emergency rooms, etc. My first year out of grad school, I didn't have a job, so I took a job at the post office driving a truck. And this was the year that the term going postal came in. This is 1975. I was at the original post office where that expression was cooked up. We had, I was driving a truck, but on the second floor where they sorted the mail, there was a supervisor who had a male employee and a female employee. The male and the female were going out with each other. One night she came into work and she announced, she said, "Bob, I'm not going out with you anymore. I'm going out with Tom, their supervisor." Guy came in the next night, the slighted guy. Came in with a .357 Clint Eastwood style handgun. He blew her head off. He went to the supervisor and splattered him all over. And then he put the gun in his own mouth and killed himself. They wheeled him out on mail gurneys. This happened right around midnight. By 3 o'clock, there were jokes all up and down the loading dock in the truck. Guys were going out in the truck trying to remember, he's not going to get the Safe Employee of the Year award. And he's not, so... And it's the same way in war. If I had more time, I'd do war stories. So humor can be a way of just, in effect, not admitting that it's as bad as it looks. So it can be a way of distancing. It can be morally criticizable for that very reason. So I think the basic tension is, if I should show compassion, if I should help, if I'm needed to do something, then laughter isn't the right response.
Is there a difference between laughter and smiling?
Oh yeah. When I said if I fall and I don't laugh but I smile, all I mean is, by smiling I don't mean that I'm warming up to a laugh. I just mean that I'm signaling I'm okay. I'm not really damaged. Yeah.
Oh, just, I guess a major issue recently has been shootings. One that I find really interesting that had a song turn into it fairly quickly was in the I think it was the late 70s, early 80s, there was a shooting. A woman on a Monday morning was picking up school children on their way to school with like a shotgun from her window. This is in Southern California. And actually, I know about this because my dad was in high school at the time in San Diego County, which is in the northern part of San Diego County. And when they were, taking her into the police station, why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? She said, "I don't like Mondays," or "I hate Mondays." So it was either "I don't like Mondays" or "I hate Mondays." Now there's a song, "I don't like Mondays," and it's like, "Tell me why I don't like Mondays," and it just talks about going crazy because you hate Mondays, and it's total. It's total take on what she said after picking off those school children.
But notice it was a long time ago, and people today probably don't know any of the details. Do they refer to the details?
Well,
Because you can use some event to spur a song without making people remember that specific event. People might not even know that there was such an event. So.
the song was made within the same decade. So
Okay.
And it was made relatively recent, but I
Oh.
want to say that the band that made it was from somewhere in Europe. I want to say England, so I guess that would be that
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah. We were talking about extreme examples. So I gave a talk one time at a group of Holocaust survivors. This is in Miami, Florida. There were 100 people in the audience, and I talked about humor at Dachau, Bergen-Belsen, Treblinka. And I was so scared because I said, this could just blow up in my face. I had a theory and I had lots of good examples. So I did my presentation and I just looked up and I saw these smiles and the hands go up and they started telling more jokes.